Okay, a couple of chapters ago, we went over the preterite tense. Okay, what is the preterite tense? Past tense. It's also known as the simple past tense. Now, there are two past tenses in Spanish that we really learn. It's preterite and perfect. Imperfect is more like things that used to happen or things that were happening. Preterite tense is your simple past tense. Okay? Something that happened. If you're telling a story, you know, I saw my friend. Okay, I fell down. That's what the preterite tense is. Now, before we go over, because today's lesson is talking about our ER and IR verbs, I want to review the AR preterite verbs first. Okay? Now, we all know our chart and what each box represents. Okay? We have our yo and our tú, our él, ella, usted, our nosotros, and our ellos, ellas, ustedes. Now, with an AR, a regular AR verb in the past tense, if we want to conjugate it in the yo form, what do? We drop the AR and what do we add? E. Yeah, letter E. So an example would be yo hablo, as I speak. Yo hablé, as I spoke. The two form. We drop the AR and what do we add? Haste. Tú hablas versus tú hablaste ayer. What does ayer mean? Yesterday, right? Key words that you're going to see on your final with understanding present versus preterite tense. Ayer, anteayer, la semana pasada. Okay. Él, ella, usted. We drop the AR. What do we have? Oh. With an accent. So, él habla versus anteayer, él habló. Nosotros, we dropped AR and what? Amos. Remember, that's the same. Nosotros hablamos ayer. And finally, ellos, ellas, ustedes. Aaron. Okay? Ustedes hablan, speak, versus ustedes hablaron ayer. You guys spoke yesterday. Okay, you should already know this. Now we're going to add in our ER and IR conjugations. Okay, we're going to go over our ER verbs first. Okay. Now, in our yo form, okay, we have our yo. We'll go over our subject pronouns. I'm going to do it just on this one, because you guys understand. Nosotros. Alright, with an ER preterite verb, when we conjugate it in past tense, for the yo form, we drop the ER. Anybody know what we add? Actually, E, the letter I with an accent. Now, let's use a, we'll do that. In the to form, when you conjugate in the to form, it's I-S-T-E, iste. In the LA usted form, the he, she, or you formal, you drop the ER and you add I-O, E-O to it. In the nosotros form, you drop the ER and add I-M-O-S, imos to it. And then your ellos, ellas, ustedes, you drop the ER and add I-E-R-O-N, ieron. All right, so to show you here, we're gonna turn this into a verb. Okay, let's use the verb comer. Okay, what does that mean? Que significa to eat. All right. Now we have our two parts of the verb. We have our stem and our ending. What is the stem? It's for come. And the ending is our ER. Now notice the ending is what we drop. The come is what we keep. So let's take a look here. Normally we say, yo como, I eat. How do we say, I ate? Yo comí. Okay? How do we say you ate? Tú comiste. Él, usted, he, she, or you ate. Comió. Nosotros comimos. We ate. And ustedes, ustedes comieron. All right. Taking a look at these endings, what do you see with the AR verbs? Do we see similarities?
Yes.
What do we see?
The O, A, and the
You're looking at there's an O in the LA form. They just added an I with it. There's STE in both of them. Okay. MOS, RON. Right. So there are similarities, but there are differences. Be aware of those. Instead of an E, it's an I. Instead of an A, it's an I. Instead of an O, it's an IO. It's an I. An ARON, it's IERON. Okay. Now let's take a look at the IR preterite verbs. I'm not going to rewrite the pronouns because they're the same. Okay. In the yo form, with an IR verb, you drop the IR and you add E with an accent, meaning I. In the to form, you drop the IR and you add iste. Ele, usted, you drop the IR and add, what do you think? Io. In the nosotros, we drop the IR and add imos. What do you think? We drop with the eos ustedes form. We drop the IR, what do we add? I-E-R-O-N. What can you tell me? Exactly the same. So you don't have to learn 3 separate endings, you just have to learn 2. These are the same. So an IR verb, what's a good IR verb? What's irregular? So I don't want to use that one yet. Vivir. What does that mean? ¿Qué significa? To live. So again, what's our stem? Vive. Right? Is our stem. So our ending is IR, so that's what's dropped and replaced by these. So I lived, yo viví. You lived, tú viviste. He or she lived, él, usted vivió. Okay, nosotros, we lived. Vivimos, and they lived, or you all lived. Vivieron. Okay, so to summarize what we've gone over, ER, IR verb endings in the preterite, regular ER, IR verbs are the same as each other. Now notice the similarities with the AR and ER, IR verbs. Okay. Are there any questions about our preterite verbs?